We spend so much of our lives dealing with the day-to-day, but underneath it all, there are these huge, profound questions that we all face. And today, we're going to explore one of them, something that goes deeper than politics or economics, something that really gets to the core of what it means to be human.
And look, we all get there, don't we? That quiet moment where you have to be honest with yourself and just ask, is this it? Is this all there is? We can stay busy, we can distract ourselves, but that question, it never really goes away.
Now, the biblical story offers a really fascinating way of looking at this. It suggests that our world, everything we see and know, it's just a single chapter, a temporary one, not the whole book.
So, to really get a grip on that bigger story, we actually have to start with the world we see right now. And the picture the Bible paints is of a world system that's, well, inherently fragile, something that was never really designed to last forever.
In the book of Revelation, there's a symbolic code name for this whole system, Babylon. Now, it's really important to get this. We're not just talking about an ancient city. It's a symbol for the whole shebang, the entire global network of human power, money, and culture that we all live in and depend on.
And this is where it starts to feel like a scene from a movie. Revelation describes this one dramatic moment where the whole thing just collapses in an instant. And it shows the leaders, the people who ran the system, just standing off in the distance, watching in total shock as their whole world vanishes.
Okay, so when you hear that, the question just hangs in the air, doesn't it? Why? What on earth could cause everything to just stop? The answer isn't what you might think. It's not a war. It's not a market crash. It's something much, much deeper.
Because the diagnosis here, the real crisis, it isn't out there in the systems we build. It's in here. It's a diagnosis of the human heart itself.
And I know, that's a challenging idea, right? Because we spend all our time blaming things outside of ourselves, corrupt leaders, broken institutions. But what if those aren't really the disease? What if they're just the symptoms?
This is where we get a diagnosis from Jesus himself. He basically said that all the brokenness we see in the world, the greed, the fighting, the arrogance, it all comes from one place, the human heart. Our systems, when you get right down to it, are just a giant mirror of what's going on inside of us.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Look at history. We're always told the story of progress. And in many ways, that's true. But underneath it all, don't we just see the same old stories playing out again and again? The same power grabs, the same cycles of violence. It's like there's a bug in the code that we just can't fix.
But if that was the end of it, it would be a pretty hopeless story, right? This is where the whole narrative pivots on one single earth-shattering event, the resurrection. See, the resurrection isn't just presented as some magic trick. It's a cosmic declaration, a shout into the universe that death, the thing we all assume has the final word, well, it doesn't. It's a sign that there's a whole new kind of life on the other side of the grave.
So this hope isn't just a private thing, like, oh, I'll be okay after I die. No, it explodes outward into this massive cosmic vision of what comes next, a totally new kind of kingdom that will replace every empire we've ever tried to build.
There's this incredible vision from the prophet Daniel. He sees the whole sweep of human history as this giant statue made of different metals. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, each one a different world power, a different empire. But then something totally unexpected breaks into the picture.
A stone. But here's the key line, the detail that changes everything. It's a stone not cut by human hands. What does that mean? It means this new reality isn't something we build. It's not another human project. Its origin is something else. And this stone hits the statue, and the whole history of human empire just crumbles to dust.
So who is in charge of this new kingdom? This is where all the threads come together in this beautiful, powerful way. The one who brings this kingdom is the very same one who walked out of the tomb. Revelation shows him as the Lamb who is defeated, who now becomes the King who reigns forever.
And just like that, this huge, cosmic story about empires and kingdoms, it zooms all the way back in. Right back to the most personal, intimate place imaginable. Right back to the human heart. And you have this stark contrast, right? On one side, you have the kingdoms we built. They're temporary, they're fragile, and they're always built on who has the most power. But this other kingdom, it's described as eternal, unbreakable, and it's built on a totally different foundation, righteousness. So the point of all this prophecy, it isn't so you can make a chart or predict a date. It's meant to get you and me to ask a really honest question. When all the things we count on, all the systems we trust in, when they finally prove to be fragile, where will I be standing? What is my real foundation? And that really gets to the heart of it all. What if the most mind-blowing prophecy in the whole story isn't the one about empires falling? What if the real miracle, the most important prophecy of all, is the transformation of the human heart? Because maybe that transformation is the real beginning of the kingdom that never ends.